All right, we're going to talk about section 1.3, which is simple random sampling. So we're going to talk about how to get a simple random sample, but before we do that, I want to remind you of what a frame is. So a frame is a list of all individuals in the population. Random sampling is the process of using chance to select individuals from a population to be included in the sample. So that's random sampling, and now we're going to talk about a simple random sample. A sample of size lowercase n from a population of size capital N is obtained through simple random sampling if every possible sample of size n has an equally likely chance of occurring. The sample is then called a simple random sample. So to be a simple random sample, they're being a little bit more specific than random sample. They're discussing the sample size, so that lowercase n. They discuss the population size. And they also mention that everything is, all groups are equally likely to occur. All right, so there's a couple of different ways to obtain a simple random sample or obtain a random sample. So you can use a hat, so where you would literally put all of the individuals into a hat and then perhaps draw names or numbers or something like that. You could use a table, which we will discuss, and then you could also just use technology, which is what's done most often, where you have technology just generate random numbers for you that correspond to individuals, or where the technology will actually pick the individuals for you. All right, but let's talk about using a table just briefly. So if we wanted to obtain a sample of size 10 using a table of the 50 states, so here we have all the states, and we're having to correspond each of these states to a number. So they've been put alphabetically and numbered 1 through 50. And then to use a table, we can either just randomly pick a starting point, or we can be told where to start. So if we wanted to all get the same states or the same sample, then we would need to start at the same place, and we would start with a row and a column. So maybe we want to start with row 3 and column 12. So row 3 is right here. So it's going to be all these numbers here. And then column 12, these spaces, I do want to make a note that these spaces are really not important. They're only there to help your eye distinguish the different columns. This is columns 1 through 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through 10, and then we have 11 through 15, so column 12, 11, 12. Right here is going to be column 12. So we've located our starting point. Now we need to look at 2-digit numbers. The reason we're going to be looking at 2-digit numbers is because we have the numbers 1 through 50. So we have up to 2 digits. And we're going to be looking for the numbers between 1 and 50. We're going to eliminate anything that's a double zero or bigger than 50, as well as duplicates. So we're going to start here. So where this 1 is, we're going to actually look at this as being a 19. And we are going to travel down until we get 10 numbers in our 1 through 50. So we have 19 and 13. 89 will be next, and that we cannot use. 21 we can. 33 we can use. 47. 23. 2. 1. This double zero is not going to be helpful. 55 is too big. We have 1 again, but that's a repeat, so we're not going to use that. 46. Again with double zero, so that won't work. 83 will not work. 76 will not. 54 will not. 86 will not work. So we've made it all the way to the end of our columns of 12 and 13. And I don't think that we have 10 yet. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 9. So what we need to do is actually start again with the next column. So we were using columns 12 and 13. So we're going to start now with column 14. So we're going to be looking at 83, which is too big, 52, which is too big, 62, which is too big, and then there's 8. So there's the last one we need, so that 0, 8 will work. So this would be our 10 numbers, and those numbers are going to correspond to 10 different states. See if I can get these kind of out of the way for us. All right, so number 19 was our first one. So we got Maine. 13, so Illinois. 21, Massachusetts. 33, North Carolina. 47, Washington. 23, Minnesota. 2, Alaska. 1, Alabama. 46, Virginia. And 8, Delaware. So again, part of the reason that we specified the row and column that we wanted to begin in is that we would all end up with the same sample from the table. So while this is good to know, do realize that most of the time whenever obtaining random samples, you're going to be using technology.